jazz going on. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the greatest. Well, here's the thing. Until you can find the greatest podcast ever, this will do, certainly. Welcome. My name is Bill Marion, and this is certainly a Nose for Life Christmas edition, Vlogmas edition. It's been a day, to say the least, right? I mean, it's been crazy. All the Christmas stuff in full swing. Today, I actually met one of our awesome chat people. Hello, Big Frog. And I met Danny, who is also known as Big Frog. That is his handle here on YouTube. And we met at the Starbucks. It was great. Danny is awesome. Lives over in Polk County, Tennessee. It's the eastern part of the state. He's actually a lot smarter than I am. It's hysterical. The guy is a nuclear engineer. I don't know. He just does all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's pretty awesome because I'm sitting there talking to this guy. I'm like, man, somebody that works on lasers is actually watching our channel. I felt extraordinarily blessed. So I had a great time. Big Frog, it was awesome. And looking forward to the next time. It's going to be great. Shane's in the house already. Welcome. Shane's in the house. And Big Frog's here. And of course, so is your mom. No, we got some people watching tonight, and I'm excited because we have so much to talk about. We've covered a lot of holiday favorites as far as what to prepare. We've talked about Elf ad nauseum, and no pun intended, but we've talked about Elf quite a bit and how to prepare Elf, how to cook Elf, because the holiday season is all about warm memories, and a lot of times that's connected with food. Am I right? And so, who doesn't like sitting around the fire pit there, watching your uncle, your grandfather, whoever, maybe it's your grandmother, I don't know, roasting an elf straight from the North Pole. And we've discussed it. And I think that we've actually helped some people make some decisions this holiday season as far as where they're getting their cuisine and how to prepare it and things like that. Tonight, we're switching gears over to Ewoks. And I'm really excited about that because here's the thing. Whereas I don't know as much about Elf, I do know a little bit about Ewoks. And so I don't claim to know as much as you guys. You guys are obviously a lot smarter than me about these things, but I think that between all of us, as we get rolling here, we will probably figure out how to best serve Ewok. And here's the thing. You don't have to wait till Christmas to serve Ewok. It's not like Elf where it's seasonal. Ewok, you can literally serve Ewok any time of year. Easter, it's an Easter treat. It's great for summer barbecues. It's just a great all-around dish. So we're going to get into that tonight as well. Big Frog says, good to meet you today. And you as well. It was a great visit. It was a great visit. And, I was thinking that Starbucks is probably the worst place to meet. I love Starbucks. I'm just saying, it's lunchtime and we're at a breakfast place. There's, what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just, man, somebody help us with these things. I need an admin just for YouTube. I'm telling you, to help me figure these things out. Glad you didn't kill me or steal my kidney. Well, that's what happens on meet and greets, right? I was telling Big Frog that I would love to have a we'll call it a convention, if you will. I mean, why not, right? So we'll call it a convention. Carol and I have been talking about that for years, about having a get together kind of. I bring in a motivational speaker or something, and we have a shindig up in G-Town or PF, either way. Whether you're going to PF or whether you're in G-Town, whatever acronym you use for the mountains, there we go. I know that we did look into something I forgot to say today, Big Frog, when we were talking about this, that Carol and I did look into a convention kind of shindig at Sharp Top Mountain. There are two lodges along the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sharp Top is one of them, and the other one is a Pisgah Inn. And so, yes, that is Billy Talk, PF, for Pigeon Forge. But they're one of those two lodges. We thought it would be really cool to have a get together there, and then we'll have a meet and greet place. But Sharp Top Mountain wasn't really ready for that. They were under a new lease or whatever, because I think the national park lets somebody lease that out to actually operate. And so they weren't ready for that kind of thing yet at Sharp Top. And then Pisgah just they don't have the facilities for that. So it was just getting kind of wacky. And then 2020 hit, and that did that. But anyway, something that we're really going to look into this summer. Boy, what a risk. That's a lot of money. So we're looking into what that might look like. I'm thinking you need about 20 couples give or take 20 people. I'm thinking 40 people. It's 20 couples or something to kind of make that a go. The Pisgah Inn is wonderful, but no air conditioning in the rooms. Best to go in the spring or the fall. It is indeed. I tell you what, when we went that first year would probably be the best time, or the second year we went. It was that third trip in the summer that it was just they were having a record-breaking heat wave, though. I mean, I got to say that to defend him. And we were there in the height of summer. So I think it would probably be better Mayish, June-ish, you'd have been fine. But we were there in the middle of the summer and in a heat wave, and the worst one that they had in history. So the Pisgah Inn was actually very, very warm that July. That winter, it was perfect. I say winter. It was actually right as spring got started, which there in the mountains, it's still kind of winter. There were still some spot snow here and there, and the parkway wasn't open through North Carolina, not the whole thing. I think it was open for another 15 miles up there that trip. Not sure. But we went 2 years in a row right there at the same time of year and just had a blast. It was wonderful. The second time, though, we stayed 3 nights. The first time we only stayed a night. Again, we're Blue Ridge Parkway nuts, so we love the Blue Ridge Parkway. If you are a Blue Ridge Parkway person, Pisgah Inn is one of those places that you got to make it happen. Now, you better book about a year in advance if you want to go during prime time. If you want to go in the fall, you better book a year or 2 in advance. Spring's not as bad. Summer can get pretty bad. I don't know how many times Carol and I drove by there trying to do a walk-in in the summer. Now, this is way before COVID. We're talking about 2015, 2014, those years there, the teens, if you will. And during the teens, it's not we couldn't get a room. I mean, if you're going to just drive up and try to get a room, it just wasn't going to happen. So there you go. But we're talking about doing a conference-ish kind of thing. I've always wanted to do that with this. Walter is in the house. Walter from West Virginia. Wild Walter Langston is in the house. Good day. Hello. Good day to you. Mark Sezowich from Boston is in the house too. So a guy who makes minestrone soup is less value than nasal guy. I have no idea what you're talking about. Minestrone soup. A guy who makes minestrone soup has less value than a nasal guy. Help me out there, Mark. Mock from Boston, help me out. What's going on, my man? Good to talk to you, though. Nonetheless, I'm glad you stopped by. And that goes for all of you. A Merry Christmas in advance, because we still have a few days away until it's Christmas. By the way, we are live streaming all the way through till Christmas Eve, and probably stick around Christmas Eve too. Why not? No air conditioning. No air conditioners. Definitely need to go to the PL when it's cooler. But what's the PL? Or is it the PI? Exactly, Shane. Elf soup is good. Elf soup is good. But I got to be honest with you. I never have enough leftovers from roasting an elf to make elf soup. I've had it, but I've just never had that kind of luck. Pisgah Inn, babe. I'm telling you. Oh, duh. I'm sorry. I was whatever. Yeah, one of those. I think it's the doll there in the back. It's supposed to be an elf, but it's looking dollish. The rosy cheeks, I guess. Well, speaking of Ewoks, I mean, here's the thing about Ewoks. I don't care where they get them, because you can get Ewoks almost anywhere on the planet. And, I mean, you can. Let's be honest. You can get Ewoks anywhere. And they haven't been in the supermarket. I prefer to, I would rather buy mine straight from a hunter, or just have, you find a hunter who's willing. I don't know what the bag limit on an Ewok is. I think it's 5 a season. I'm not sure. But I would rather know a hunter. It's the best way to do it, because it's just much better to get an Ewok from the wild, and then you get the Ewok, you clean it if it's not already been cleaned. You've got to do it right, but still, it's 10-1. You're guaranteed tender meat with an Ewok. A little gamey. It's going to be a little gamey. Listen, you got to prepare your family for that. Got to start them young. Big Frog says Ewoks are native to Northern California. Is that? I did not know that. I think it was I guess they transferred some out to get those weird redheaded Ewoks down in Alabama. I don't know what that's all about, but it's some kind of government lend-lease thing. I don't know, but whatever happened there, but I did not know that they were indigenous to California or Northern California. Unreal. That's good. Probably around Sequoia National Park, I'm thinking, Redwood National Forest, whatever it's called. Me now says back in north-southwestern Oregon, I know exactly what you're talking about. Papa used to run them through the hog scolder before we scrape their hides. Hello, everyone. Hello. That's a good way to start. Redwoods. What did I say? Red flower or something silly? Red flower, red dawn. We're going to go back to that. Red dawn. So yeah, so the Ewoks, here's the thing though, you don't want your meat too hairy because that can happen. The thing is, and this is what Big Frog and I were discussing today, is that you've never had a winter coat. I think it was me and Big Frog. It may have been Shane. I can't remember which now because it's all running together, but you've never had a winter coat until you've had an Ewok fur winter coat. I'm just telling you that it's the best, and especially in wet weather. So it doesn't have to be just living in an Arctic Circle. Am I right? Like, they're great at repelling water. So that's not something I'm familiar with. I've never had an Ewok coat. Billy McDaniel is in the house. So here comes our Billies. Billy, we're talking about eating Ewoks. We've been talking about eating elf all week, about how it's season for elf and how to prepare elf. And honestly, it's been a great conversation because I think everybody's agreed that smoked elf is probably the best elf. Where to get your elf. And I've been warning everybody that not to just get elf at your local supermarket. You want to make sure you order those straight from the North Pole. They spoil easy and things like that. But yeah, I miss, Ewoks. We were talking about Ewoks that they're guaranteed to be tender. You just want to make sure that you're getting them from the right place. You can get them in the store, not as good. But yeah, the Ewoks. Every kid loves to eat Ewoks. Carolyn was talking about how she missed Ewoks when she was a kid. That truly, she loved the Ewoks. And I do too. It's great. Especially like if you infuse garlic, like you cut your cloves. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is making an incision all over the Ewok meat. And, you put the arms up or something, however you're doing it. And you just make incisions. Just take the garlic, put it right in there. Onions. Listen, you guys are supposed to be the experts here. You share with me your favorite recipe. Some of you guys probably you just cut it off the bone and fry it. I don't know. Everybody has their own. Ewok's fur is naturally hydrophobic because of the extra oil glands in the subdermal fat layer. You know what? I didn't know that either. So essentially, it's just naturally. Elf is great on the smoker. See, I'm telling you, Elf is going to be the hit of the season. Everybody's talking about this. Elf is great on the smoker. I like hickory or applewood for the smoke taste. I'm going to go with applewood for that. That's just my opinion, especially with Elf. Aldi has good sales on Ewok loin and shoulders. Aldi? Are you serious? I wouldn't think Aldi would carry Ewok. Or Elf, for that matter. But okay. All right. So you guys heard it first here. I hope, Carolyn, I know you're still watching. Make sure you make a note of that. Because if you're going to get Ewoks, for some reason, it's hard for me to think of buying Ewoks at Aldi. I can see Publix. I can see Martin's there in Virginia. But it's just hard to think of Aldi. But okay, that's fine. That's fine. Aldi has the best deals on Ewok here in Utah. No way. You're kidding me. So I'm the last to remember. I don't shop at Aldi. That's why. I thought Aldi was like the buy in bulk place or something. I guess I'm missing out here. Applewood is great for the smoker, Walter Langston from wild and wonderful West Virginia. Do you guys you hunt Ewok in West Virginia though, Walter? Like, is that a season? Do you have that? You got to let us know, because the whole time I lived up there, I didn't know if that's the case. I never saw an Ewok up there. But it would make sense. Rural, it's very country, very mountainish, and that would make sense. But then again, a lot of people hunt in West Virginia, so it's hard to get your numbers up it's good meat, it's good eating. Listen, they're not going to fight back. It's not like getting into a tangle with a bear, and they're not as cutesy as an elf. So of course, I've never seen an elf in West Virginia. For that matter. Big Frog says, ever had Wagyu elk? No, I have. Or Ewok, excuse me. Wagyu Ewok. No, I haven't. Is that like a Japanese Ewok? I thought that. Am I wrong here to think that was a North American thing? I guess maybe I'm not. Not many Ewok are in here. I didn't think in your part of the state, Walter, but I thought maybe to the north of the state, there, the northern part of West Virginia. I know. And I don't know if Billy's still in here or not, but I know that Virginia, probably somewhere around the Skyline Drive, you're probably going to see an Ewok or two every now and then, but people are feeding it. And I don't know if I would, I don't know what the harvest limit is. Shane says, I heard someone smuggled in Ewok on an illegal circus in West Virginia. They got loose and started breeding in the forest. I haven't heard that. I'll try to Google that after. Somebody can fact check us on that, but it's possible. It's possible. I've seen crazier things happen. There's Billy. Billy McDaniel says, Ewok is good with sauerkraut. Never had it with sauerkraut, that's for sure. Okay. Gonna have to write that one down too. All right. I've always gone with the more holiday traditional thing, I guess, as opposed to sauerkraut. You wouldn't think, what is it, with mustard, I guess? Like a little mustard on the side, maybe some of that expensive stuff. Yeah, Walter flexing with North Pole Ewok. I feel so poor. Oh, want to know a secret? Ewoks are just midget Bigfoots. I don't know about that. Probably. I would say midget Bigfoot, midget Bigfoot, big feet, Bigfoots, midget Bigfoots that are more intellectual, perhaps, maybe less magical. Walter Langston says, saw a few Ewok near Harper's. Are you that far? Because, Harper's Ferry is not actually in the middle of nowhere, right? Is that where you're talking about, Harper's Ferry? Or I'm assuming, are you talking about that far north? Where are you talking about, Walter? Help me out here. It's Dwarf. Littlefoots. It's Littlefoots. It's Littlefoot. It's the little people. It's the Littlefoots. I hated Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. I hated them. Still do. How dumb was that? Harper's Ferry, that's what I thought. And Harper's Ferry is not exactly... One would never imagine seeing Ewoks in Harper's Ferry. It's just not that far in the middle of nowhere. But maybe so. I mean, who knows? I would have never thought that there would be as many bear in... there to the north. In Pittsburgh. Not Pittsburgh. Well, it's outside of Pittsburgh there. Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is in Pennsylvania. I didn't realize there was as many bear in Pennsylvania, because when I think of Pennsylvania, I don't necessarily think of the Appalachian Mountains, and yet the largest city in the Appalachian Mountains, it's actually in Pennsylvania, which is kind of crazy. No one is mentioning the gland thing. It's worse than turkeys. I did not know that. See, I'm learning so much from you guys in the chat. I cannot say, I thought I knew Ewoks. I don't know how many times Carolyn and I have made Ewok jambalaya, and it's been phenomenal. I mean, you don't do a seafood thing when you do Ewok because it kind of dominates the taste, but the process is still the same, and the meat just kind of falls apart. I have heard of people saying that Ewok can be tough, and I just say they don't know how to prepare. They don't know how to prepare food. When you see a bear, give it a bear hug. And I see a bear, not gonna hug it. I'm not scared of bear. It's not that I'm scared. I just have a lot of respect for their bipolar disorder. I'm not kidding you. They are just extreme. And I'm not putting down people with bipolar disorder. I'm just saying bears have one. And of all the people that you would rather not have a bipolar disorder, it would be bears. And they are just wrong in every possible way. Like, they're just temperamental. Yeah, Ewoks stink. Smells like when you take a turtle out of its shell. I didn't know it was that bad. But again, I've never been privileged enough to go on a big Ewok hunt. So need to try Ewok and dumpling in a Dutch oven. Well, here, I wasn't going to go into too much detail on this, but when I make jambalaya, of course, I use a Dutch oven. And when you make Ewok, any type of Ewok stew, I'm usually going to use a Dutch oven. I mean, that's just how, but I'm going to burn the meat first. Like, when I say burn it, you're just basically scalding it and cooking it down, getting its juices out, put a lot of seasoning in it first. And then, you're boiling it down several times in the iron pot there in the Dutch oven. You're just boiling it down. It's a great campfire thing. If you're sitting around with your buddies or your family or whatever at night, and you're around a campfire and you got your Dutch oven on the fire and it's boiling, you just add water. And it just tenders everything up. And then about the last 30 minutes, the last boil through, you throw your vegetables in, your rice if you're doing rice. Of course, what we like to do, and again, sort of the Louisiana method, is, once you've done that last boil through with the vegetables, put a cup of rice in it, fill it back up with water. If you're cooking outside, you put the lid on it, put your coals on top of it, shove it up in the fire for about 45 minutes. Your rice fluffs up. That's how it works. And you pull it out and eat it. See, it's that good. Asian style Ewok in a wok. So you get like some sweet and sour kind of thing going on. I mean, you got peanuts in there or something for some reason. I don't know. I mean, wok cooking is good, It's good. A little stir fry, little vegetables and onions. Once saw a bear that had been to Antarctica and the Arctic. It was truly bipolar. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah. We're getting canceled. It's going to happen tonight. It's going to happen tonight. I was wondering why was it so special today? Now I know. It's because tonight is when Bill Marion's YouTube channel gets canceled. Listen, we're just telling the truth. That's all we're doing here. We're just telling the truth. I mean, when it comes to Ewok and Elf, either way, you're looking at good food. I mean, you can listen, if this is the year that you got to back off a little bit of finances or whatever, maybe it's a bad year in the family. I don't know. There's different reasons. Maybe you don't want to celebrate so big or whatever. And somebody could have some suggestions there. I mean, you could always go with traditional stuff like ham or turkey or whatever. But maybe some of you guys have some suggestions about other things you can eat during the holiday that, it's not Elf. It's not, I don't know why, but it's not Ewok. It's not Elf. What are some other special things that you could eat this holiday season that would just, kind of bring it all the way around? I mean, what I'm saying? Just to mark it as, hey, you know what? Maybe it's not the greatest holiday in the world, but hey, but this is on the menu this year and this is different. Jawa. Dude, that's disgusting. There's no way. I've heard of people eating Jawa, but am I the only one that just thinks that Jawa's gross? Billy McDaniel says, but nothing beats T-Rex eggs over easy. All right, you guys are just, come on now. T-Rex, you can't even get that. Well, you can get it here, but it's just expensive. It's just so expensive. You got the whole thing going on with that. It's just a lot of money. I don't know. Maybe it's because last time I ate T-Rex eggs, I got sick. I don't know. Somebody else weigh in on that because I don't want to be too hard. The Jawa thing, though, I just can't do Jawa. I don't know. It's an allergy, maybe. I just get sick every time. The smell cooking it, it's not, maybe it's the way they wiggle before you put them in the, I don't know. Maybe so. I would come quicker to eating T-Rex eggs again and giving it a try. The smell, though, man, it's just hard. It's just a hard call. Anybody else? What about the T-Rex? Anybody want to weigh in on that? My goodness. Or the Jawa, for that matter. We need to hear some feedback. Tuckley. I need to know what Tuckley is. Tuckley? What is Tuckley? I do not know what Tuckley is. So somebody help me out there. Gnomes. Okay, I'm embarrassed, but I'm going to shoot straight with everybody in here. I've never had gnome. And we have a whole farm up here at Lookout Mountain. There's an entire farm of gnomes. People go there all the time for the gnome. But I've never had gnomes. Carolyn says you don't like gnomes, but I've never had them. I think, let's see. Billy says, I'm in the middle of baking medieval bread. Is that with or without the horse manure? I'm just like, didn't horse manure go in medieval bread? Is that I heard that was a thing. Like they would put, I don't know, whatever. What do I know? Fresh, ground, hard red wheat. All right. Red wheat. I didn't even know wheat came in separate colors. I have purple wheat today. I have green wheat, orange wheat. Here, fresh, ground, hard red wheat. I'm thinking like if you're in Knoxville, it's like orange wheat. Go Vols. Nope, nobody. So yeah, James Madison University is playing Oregon sometime. When is it? Is it tonight? Tomorrow night? I can't remember. And I am really pulling for James Madison University there in Harrisonburg, Virginia. I am like ecstatic that they made the playoffs. However, I'm a little worried. That they might get the snot beat out of them because Oregon, they have, it's Oregon. So I don't know. Speaking, I was just thought of that. I saw Billy McDaniel's name and I thought of Harrisonburg and I was thinking, wow, not sure if that would be, it's like James Madison's, breakout year. And you got to play like first round of the playoffs. You don't catch a break and play like a school that's okay, where you have a fighting chance. You're going to play Oregon. Probably a little scary or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, not necessarily to talk where It's not what we were talking about. I just had to throw it out there. Fresh ground, hard red wheat. And making medieval bread. You know what? It's making me hungry, and I shouldn't be hungry right now, but it's making me hungry. Went over to Mom's tonight. You know, Mom has like 800 nutcrackers, speaking of which. And I wanted to shoot some because I'm going to do a nutcracker video. I'll probably release Tuesday night or something like that. We're still live streaming. Don't panic. We're still live streaming, but I'm going to, about nutcrackers, their history, their origins. They're in Germany. And just some fun stuff. Just fun, lighthearted nutcracker stuff. Nutcrackery, if you will. Because I like nutcrackers. They're just so ugly, they're cute, right? But Mom is like overkill on the nutcrackers. They're everywhere. And so I was doing some video. We had a little Christmas to get together, a shindig. Lots of fun. A legion of nutcrackers. They called him Legion. Walter Langston says, tonight ate pork barbecue. So good. So good. You know what? Now I'm getting really hungry. All this talk about Ewok, elf, and medieval bread. I think he said, yeah, medieval bread. And now we're just going to good old classic pork barbecue tonight. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungrier by the second. I just don't know what to do about it because it's like too late to eat. Went to Mom's and we had finger food. And look, the food was great. The food was fine. These big giant grapes and some other stuff. I don't know. I remember the grapes because they're like the size of, they were huge. They were just huge grapes. And it was good. The kids are there, grandkids, little peanuts there. My youngest grandson is now, he's like, 4 weeks or something. And we call him Peanut. He's just a doll. He's really cute. So it was fine. It was fine. I just really didn't get to eat because it's not really eating. And I'm blowing up here. So I'm going to have to, there's nothing I can do about it. So yeah. That's the problem, though, when I've got my text running through my laptop and I'm using my laptop to stream. So then what happens is if I get a text, it chimes on the computer, and there's just really nothing I can do about it. It's just how it is. But anyway, Billy McDaniel says, we had pulled pork for supper. That sounds great. Leftover from summer cookout. Outstanding. So it still had the smoked, savory taste of summer saturated into the meat, into the pores of the meat. That sounds wonderful right now. Actually, it sounds great. Yeah, I don't get to cook that much down here, and it's sad, but I don't. We're extremely busy in the afternoons. Carol and I have made DoorDash rich. We have made DoorDash rich because we've had to order in so many times. Yep, all of the above. I bet it tastes like heaven. I know that a friend of mine cans bear meat. Like he cans it like you would vegetables, and he cooks it down and cans it, and it was delicious. Miss Billy's Big Family Cookout. I would love to be at Miss Billy's Big Family Cookout. I don't get that. Miss Billy's Big Family Cookout. Oh, I miss okay, now I get it. Okay, I do. I miss Billy's Big Family Cookouts. Billy McDaniel up in Virginia has these summertime, like into summer. I think it was in the summer. These bashes of like. I have never been to a bash like this before where he made chicken. It was the best chicken I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm not just saying that because he's in here. I would say that behind his back. It was like the best chicken. And he had girls going everywhere and there's food everywhere. And people you had to be on the list to get to go to his party. And I made his list one year and I got to go and it was heaven on earth. It was awesome. People around town were like, oh, yeah, I know Billy McDaniel. Yeah, I got to go to his dinner one year, and they talked about it. Paparazzi's there. It's great. But no, it's like the best food in the world. So he's serious. When he knows how to cook Ewok, you need to talk to him. He knows how to do it better. Now, he's not weighed in much about the elf, but the truth is the first time I really heard people talking seriously about the elf, it was Billy, and was telling me about how his forefathers did it there in West Virginia. How they were ice farmers, and they would go up north, and that's where they would get the elf up to where the Aurora Borealis are at, because apparently around there is where the elf are at mainly. Anyway, I don't want to tell your story though, Billy. I apologize. Excellent. We'll definitely try to make it, because Billy B. Daniel had said, well, be sure to send an invite to the next one. Man, you don't understand. We will come to the next one. We might be there anyway. And I'm still getting blown up on my phone here, which is fun. It's kind of like managing 3 different things at once. But yeah, So you never know. We are missing, all Carol and I have talked about this holiday season is missing north of the Mason-Dixon line up there. Where is the Mason-Dixon line? I'm assuming it's somewhere around Mason and Dixon. Am I right? Yeah, but we're missing the North Country a lot, and especially we were talking about the weather tonight, where it's chilly here but not cold, and just missing the, it feeling normal. But so yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I think that the food tastes better when it's cold outside in the winter. Is it just me? I don't know. I talked about this a few years ago. That boiled custard was one of those things where years ago. Our family had a tradition out of that came from the English of all people. We weren't English, but it was boiled custard, and it was sort of like eggnog, but more eggy, if that makes any sense. It's really good. Anyway, I'm trying to find somebody that has the recipe. I'd love to make that. I would make that this year. I don't, there's some steps that I'm missing. So is okra, and I missed it. And file part of these recipes. I guess. Gotta run. Bread is getting ready to come out. Enjoy, Billy. Enjoy. Tell me how it turns out. Big Frog Barbecue says between Maryland and Pennsylvania. I don't think that's the line. I mean, I'm not saying it's not the Mason-Dixon line. I'm saying that I think the gravy line is more appropriate, which is in the southern part of Virginia. Runs through the northern part of Kentucky. You cross that line, gravy tastes bad. It's just write it down. I'll give you grid coordinates because Carolyn and I have it mapped out. We have it mapped out. You're okay if you go west, though. Southwest, you can go all the way out to West Texas, and you're going to get good gravy, southern cuisine. I don't know why it works that way. You can be in California and get good southern food. Don't know why. But you go north or north Midwest, that tea starts losing sugar by the second. The tea starts losing sugar by the second. And if they don't have good sweet tea, they don't have southern cuisine. Big Frog says, between Maryland and Pennsylvania. And we said goodbye to Billy. Loved it that he stopped by. My old friend, my old hiking buddy up in Virginia. Good times. Yeah, we want to do a meet and greet kind of shindig where we all hang out and talk and just somewhere really nice and simple. But then again, you want to also have it to where, so, if your wife doesn't just want to come to the mountains because, not everybody likes the mountains, right? Not everybody there's something to do. So, yeah, G-Town, PF, the great PF, might be the place that we want to go do that. But we've just got to build it up between now and then, reserve the rooms, and for me to get ready to possibly take a huge financial loss. Because just because you say, okay, we're going to do this get together shindig on these dates, doesn't mean anybody's going to come. And you could be out a lot of money. And that's fine. I'm not hitting you up for money. So calm down. Everybody calm down. And see, somebody just signed out. They got scared. He's about to ask for money. Run! But I will ask you for this. Go ahead and hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. Make sure also, while you're there, that you have the notifications button, that you got, click for the notifications. Look, I've got to be as good as Joe Rogan. Like, you wouldn't be in here right now if you didn't like me more than Joe Rogan. Come on. Okay, probably not. But still, hit the notify button, baby. But yeah, we got to figure out how to do this. I know that some people will come, it'd be fun. But we want to make it to where, like I said, about 40 people, about 20 couples. But I don't want to make it a couple thing because then there's single people out there, there's single people, and I don't want to ostracize them. So we'll see. Big Frog says between Maryland and Pennsylvania, then he says meet and eat with a smoked elf. Can you get smoked elf that time of year? Because I'm thinking summer, fall, I don't know yet. I'm really trying to put in thought into this. And I've got to try to attract people that wouldn't come to our live streams. I've got to think about other people who this isn't their bag. They're just not into this. And to be able to recruit people during the year through the channel who may end up wanting to come. So I've got to have something there that when they come, they go, oh, I would like to see that, whatever that is. And I can't think of that right now. That's kind of hard because I don't expect people to travel around the country and spend a lot of money just to hang out with me. They need to have something. I mean, they should, but they need to have something to do when they get there to something to see or whatever. Meet and eat with smoked elk. I thought about also having an organized, like, hey, we're going to go hiking in here and have a ranger or something give us a special tour. And I thought, dude, a lot of my subscribers are like 55 and older. I'm seriously, if you look at the demographics, it's like, I'm like one of the younger people. You know what I mean? So I'm going, might not be the best idea to say, hey, let's go hiking. Nobody will come. So I don't know. A guided elf hunt. Do they have elf in the Smokies? That's what I got to find out. I didn't know that they had elf in the Smokies. They may. I know that they have cut hiking off in a lot of areas, especially there around Mount LeConte. So I'm thinking they may have restricted hiking around Mount LeConte for the purpose of elf and Ewok. I don't know, because Big Frog was talking about Tennessee Ewok. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I've got to get to the bottom of that. It's possibly. Walter Langston says, I'm in my 40s. You know what? I didn't know that. I thought you were in your 20s. No joke. I thought you were like maybe 30 at the oldest. They claim they don't. That's what Shane said. And I'm assuming that you're talking about, well, it's just like what is it called? The mountain lions. They say they don't have those either. And so just because you're telling me you don't have Ewok or elf in the park there doesn't mean you don't have them. You probably do. I know Cates Cove. This is true story right now. Cates Cove is still saying that there have been no elk with a K, elk sightings in the cove, yet a dozen people have pictures that they claim it's elk in the cove. I don't know. And I don't mean like it's deer and they just don't know the difference. I mean, no, it's elk in Cates Cove. So who knows? It's possible. I know that they have elk crossing signs all through the cove, which is interesting to me. Like, why would you have elk crossing signs if there are no elk there? It just seems like a waste of government money to me. I don't know. These are the questions I want to know. My conspiracy videos, that's the kind of stuff I'm going to deal with. Because if you're going to hide elk from me and Ewoks and elf, then I'm automatically going to assume that aliens are real. Right there. Boom. I said it. That's right. You know, everybody's going nuts because we've had more solar activity this year than we ever had. That's why the northern lights have been seen as far south as central Florida. And they showed up three times in 1 year here in Tennessee. And that's unusual. They've been more powerful in the South before, back in 1860, whenever the Battle of Gettysburg was. No, before Gettysburg. So it'd be 1861. In 1861, somebody needs to fact check me on that, because it's 1861 or 1862. The auroras were so strong to the south that it messed up telegraph poles and all that stuff. Like, it was a big deal. And the Confederacy saw it as an omen that they were going to win. They obviously misinterpreted the signs. You know, it's like, oops, had the wrong book open for that one. But yeah, so it's not that we've not had that happen ever before. It's just that it was a little regular this year. So it's kind of interesting stuff. There's all kinds of conspiracies and stuff, but it just happens. The sun wasn't feeling well, so lots of corona ejections, and we are the recipient in the form of lights, the aurora borealis, the northern lights. Yeah, now you know. Now you know why you're here tonight. You needed to hear that. Exactly. The Civil War omens. I don't know. I thought they were really cool. When Carol and I saw them in Maine, it was absolutely sensational. It was awesome. But it was cool here, too. We just weren't here when we were in Maine when the auroras popped out here. Then we had 2 nights this past fall where you could see them here in Tennessee, but we weren't up. It was like early in the morning or late at night. And through your camera, you could get a little bit of action, you know, if you were looking through the camera. But it wasn't as good as it was the year before. But we have had a lot of solar activity this year. It's kind of crazy, kind of mysterious. So I don't know. I'm waiting for, you know, that moment where we've had so many crazy things happen over the past, 10 years, where it's just one weird thing happen after another. Like, never thought we were going to see this. Never thought we were going to see that. I'm just waiting for like something to slam into the moon. You know what I mean? Like something crazy to happen in the night sky. Nothing would surprise me anymore. Walter Langston said, I missed the northern lights, the lights here. Man, I hate it that you missed them because West Virginia has the darkest skies east of the Mississippi. Carolyn said, we weren't able to see them here This most recent time, no, you weren't. Through a camera, you could. Like other people had seen. I looked out our front door. Carolyn fell asleep, and you could barely see some green through the camera. And I thought, well, it might get good. And there were some pictures that showed up on Facebook that, they were okay, but it wasn't great. It wasn't like it was the year before. So I don't know. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. You have 3i Atlas, flying through the solar system, and everybody had their conspiracy theories about Comet 3i Atlas. And wacky UFO stories and everything. It didn't really behave like a comet. It didn't. Not that I would have believed that it was a UFO, but still, I mean, like, I get it that it was different, very different. I mean, the tail was going the wrong direction for a minute, or at least it appeared that way. And that's kind of when I stopped keeping up with 3i Atlas. I thought they have no idea what's going on with this thing, and our instrumentation, it's getting a lot better to pick up on these interstellar objects that are flying through the solar system. So I'd say we're going to get several more cracks at comets that are similar to 3i Atlas. Walter Langston says, for some reason, when odd stuff happens at night here, always rainy and cloudy. It's West Virginia. It's always rainy and cloudy in West Virginia. I mean, it's like the sun comes out occasionally right before it snows again. It's like, there's some pretty days in West Virginia. I've been hiking in West Virginia. Well, it's a true story. I started the day out, one of the most glorious days. This has happened to me twice where, the one thing didn't happen to me twice, where I wouldn't say I got lost. I got exhausted. I won't retell the story. I've told it many times here about having this incredibly terrifying hiking experience. Didn't get lost, just got exhausted. And it was a beautiful day, only for it to get cloudy that night. There's a reason for that. Some other time I'll get into that about why it clouds up there. Spruce Knob and that whole ridge line makes its own weather. That's a part of it. All the condensation, all the weather comes in from Canada. And Spruce Knob just kind of does its own thing because of rain shadows and all that stuff I love to talk about on our videos all the time. And so it'll be a perfectly normal, beautiful day, and you'll hear thunder in the distance, and an hour later, it's pair 'em up Noah one more time. I mean, it's just boom. And they can't predict the weather there. Carolyn and I, the biggest blizzard we've ever been in was in West Virginia, and through Pendleton County and Pocahontas County. And I kept trying to get out of it, like trying to drive away from it. And wherever we drove, that was going on. It wasn't predicted. It was supposed to be a warmer day, like in the 40s. And the sun was supposed to come out. And we got over there and we got in a mess. And this was in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, in 2021. Matter of fact, I've made several videos with the footage from there. Most of the time when you see the snow videos that we have, where anything snow, and you see the wind blowing and the snow's blowing across the road and things, it's from that trip. And so, yeah, we videoed, but man, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Carolyn, that was when she was full throttle. She had gone from kind of being nervous on some of our drives, back roads and dirt roads in the middle of nowhere. West Virginia scared her completely at first. But by then, Carolyn was full throttle, loved West Virginia, wanted to go every single week. She just loved it over there. Big Frog Barbecue says, every time the northern lights are expected to be visible here, it's after my bedtime. It's the truth, man. It's like I need a camera mounted to my roof just to catch them here. But how rare is it here in the South? We're not going to see that stuff much at all. It's going to have to be a special time. Now, if we go the next decade, think about this for a minute. If we go the next decade where the northern lights are visible a lot, that would be different, right? That might not be a good thing for our poor sun. Maybe something's going on there. Maybe 3i Atlas did do something to the sun. It was weird that 3i Atlas, when it's circling the sun, it's doing that right when we're having these huge explosions on the sun. These sunspots, which cause the aurora borealis. And it was kind of interesting, that, I don't know. It's good stuff for science fiction and good stuff to watch a YouTube video about late at night. Anybody else do that? I'll watch the craziest stuff. There's some stuff I won't watch. Like, if you ever show me flat Earth, I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. If you're a flat Earth person, listen, I don't mean to be ugly to you personally at all. It's just you need help. Like, let me help you. Like, that one's I can't buy the flat earth. I can't buy it. I can't have that conversation. Like, but if you want to tell me that there's, the Black Knight satellite, the ancient satellite that, rotates around the earth, it has for thousands of years, and Nikola Tesla discovered it and all this. Okay, fine. That's fun because we can't prove it either way. But you can prove with a stick, you can prove that the earth is round. It is not hard. Matter of fact, you don't need a stick. Take your cell phone camera, maybe a tripod would be nice, and just hit the record button on the side of your house where the sun is shining, and you can prove the earth is round. Anyway, but late at night, it's fun to watch conspiracy theories, even if they're wacky, even if they're crazy, because it's entertaining. People. It's fun. You want to hear about all the crazy conspiracies. I don't know. It's just to me, the most entertaining thing to watch are conspiracy theories. But what are you going to do? We live at a time where people take them seriously. I made the Cumberland, you guys remember this video because it went big for our channel. I think 300,000 or 400,000 views or whatever, where it was the Cumberland Gap, the truth about the Cumberland Gap or something, the Cumberland Gap tunnel. It was so over the top shtick. It was so over the top. This is me being funny. And yet, if you read the comments through there, go back when you get time and read the comments on that video. All of the comments, it feels like sometimes, are like truck drivers just giving me what for about hazardous. It's a comment that I made in the video about why do they have to do this and this and this with hazardous chemicals and things like that. And these truck drivers they didn't like that I said that at all. And they were giving me what for and telling me why. It's still funny. It's still got a lot of views and I get paid either way. But the point being, it was a conspiracy video. It was one of the first videos that actually did well for our channel. It was a conspiracy video, but I was almost poking fun a little bit at conspiracies. Walter Langston says, wintertime here, sunny. Wouldn't mind heavy snow and the wind. Wouldn't mind heavy snow and wind the next 1 minute heavy. I see now. Sorry. 1 minute heavy snow and wind the next minute. Yeah, I mean that's West Virginia. West Virginia's got a boreal climate, and so if you want to try to figure out the climate in that part of West Virginia, especially Monongahela National Forest area, it's better to match it up with a place like Vermont or New Hampshire than it is anywhere in the South, for that matter, or anywhere along its same parallel line. It's got its own thing going on, just its own thing. And it's not as much in your part of the state reminds me more of Southeast Kentucky, a lot more of Southeast Kentucky. It just has that same vibe, or Eastern Kentucky in general. Whereas up there in Pendleton County, Pocahontas County, Webster County, that part of West Virginia there, you might as well be in Canada. Big Frog says, sun seeding, kind of like cloud seeding, but for Northern Lights. I'm in. I am so in, Big Frog. That would be so cool. I'm all for cloud seeding. Now listen, people, I know that people are scared about controlling the weather, and I say why. Why should we be scared? Especially when like individuals start controlling it. I mean, come on, think about it. I mean, it's no big deal. You throw a little sulfur and aluminum in the air, right? So you got these people that are pilots and stuff, in their spare time, and they're seeding clouds themselves just because they want to. Like, think about that. Everybody's talking about these big, like, chemtrails and all the stuff, and like that's one of those conspiracies that I'm thinking, of course there's chemtrails, and of course they're spraying stuff in the air, because if I'm in charge and I think I can calm some people down by putting a little Prozac in the air, I'm going to think about it. I'll be like, let's talk about this. I mean, look, I'm not saying chemtrails are definitely, okay, maybe. I don't know how they couldn't be. I mean, they're missing a great opportunity if they're not. Am I right? But here's all I'm saying is, like, imagine your next door neighbor, the pilot, looks at you and says, well, it's going to rain next week. And you're like, well, the weatherman says it's going to be like beautiful. It's 75 degrees or whatever. And he's like, yeah, but my kid wants a white Christmas, and I'm going to see to it that he has one. And he's a pilot. I mean, especially when they can start figuring out exactly where to lay down the sulfur aluminum, I think is what it is, or whatever. And he just starts as an individual, as opposed to being like the government and all this crazy stuff. Because, I mean, think about it. That is what would start happening. People would just start, people throw stuff out their window all the time. So what's the difference between that and you're in your little prop plane and you're just, You got a little sprayer out the back, little garden sprayer. Just little insect sprayer out there, you know, like you're spraying down the garden, and it's just, you're seeing the clouds. And you're going to have a white Christmas now. It's supposed to be 70, but not now. Somehow or another, you know. I don't know. I can't seem to get anybody to explain to me how you can take moisture out of the air in one place, right? And not rob someplace else. If somebody could teach me that, I'd appreciate it. One time in 1967, me now, 2416 says, I was at a party in Northern California. I snorted a chemtrail and didn't sleep for 5 days. Woke up on the back of a Westfall in Toledo, Ohio. Man, anytime you wake up in Toledo, Ohio, it's scary. That's all I'm going to say. Oh my gosh, that's great. That's great. Just got something there in the chat that was even funnier. I'm sorry, guys. I just had my own little comedy moment. If I haven't said so already, let me say so now, that if you're in here watching this live stream, and I hope that you are, I hope you're not just in here just zoned out, not watching. I can't tell you how much fun I'm having doing these, and I'm glad that you're a part of them. And that goes for everybody coming in and out and whatever, that you would just make me a part of your Christmas season. And even if it's just a little bit of your Christmas season, thank you so much. It's great. We're going to keep trying to make fun videos, go new places, do new things. I'm not kidding about the get-together conference convention. We'll call it Billicon or something. I don't know. But I'm serious about that. I just don't have it figured out how to work it and make it to where it's more than just us getting together and going, hey, look, I would love that, but I'm not sure if everybody would be willing to, you know, join the conference for that. So I don't know. You got to keep them separated. You got to, you know. Oh my gosh, that's funny. It's funny. Yeah. So between that, going back to flat Earth, that's what we were talking about here, is flat Earth. That's the thing. I love the conspiracy videos, and that's why every now and then I'll throw out some kind of conspiracy video, is because I enjoy them. I've said that on here before. I enjoy conspiracy videos, and so every now and then it's fun to throw in something myself to have fun or whatever. But it always backfires on me, whether it's the spookiest road in the Smokies, you know, that one backfired on me big time. It was a throwaway video. It ends up doing 500,000 views or whatever it did. And people just go off on me, especially locals there who I love. Like, those are my people, you know, those are Shane's people. Those are our people. And yet you're like, dude, I'm drawing attention to this amazing road. Like, that was the whole idea of it. And to put a little juice on it, so to speak, put a little clickbaity with it. But it never works out for me. It's like, I do better probably when I'm just straight, you know, play it straight. But it's fun. It's fun. Don't mix elves and Ewoks. Did I mix elves? Are you talking about breeding them? Because I don't think you can do that. I think it's illegal. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I mean, you know, for all I know, Ewoks are attracted to elves. I think Ewoks eat elves, though, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can clarify that in the comments, but I think Ewoks eat elves, right? I think so. They're definitely omnivores. I bet that's how they made a gremlin. I was talking about gremlins tonight with my son. I was trying to tell him, I'm like, dude, you've really got to watch this movie, because it's one of those movies that there's not been a lot of nostalgia about the Gremlins, like there has been Ghostbusters and some other movies. Gremlins, there hasn't been a lot of nostalgia. Why hasn't somebody like rebooted Gremlins? Like, seriously, you could do it better than it was done then. I don't think you can win on that one because it was too kiddie back then. So I don't know. Maybe the premise of it was cute though. I like the premise. Maybe it's racist. I mean, looking back, it could definitely be. You could definitely read some racism into it, but I bet Mogwai would taste good. I think Mogwai would be awesome. Just for the record, I wouldn't want to eat a gremlin, but Mogwai, definitely. Which makes me think Gizmo was probably, well, that's what I was saying. I mean, I don't know if that's one of those. He looks like more of a sandwich spread, like you would just bake him, like real slow, and mix him with mayonnaise or something and spread it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they're pretty rare. I've never met anybody that's eaten mogwai before, so I don't know. Yeah, don't get it wet. Walter said, don't get that thing wet, and definitely, I guess you wouldn't want to eat it after midnight either, right? Because like it couldn't eat after midnight, but you wouldn't want to eat it after midnight. Bad indigestion. Sandwich bread. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's not really an Ewok. It doesn't have the meat an Ewok does, but it's got enough, right? Like you sandwich, you want to slow cooking and sandwich spread that stuff. You wouldn't want to grill it. It would probably burn too easy. I don't think it's probably got a lot of fat on it. I don't know. I think it's mostly fur. So you're looking at just probably less meat on it than an elf. That's the way I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm out of the box on these things though. You got to keep that in mind. I'm way out there on that. So, mate, look at the elf in the picture behind me. Elfish. I know it's a doll, but go with it. And look at the Ewok. The Ewok is like stout shoulders and all that stuff. I mean, you can cut a lot of meat right through here, But the elf is like lots of bones and stuff. Big Frog was talking about, some pictures are online about some people who had cleaned their plate after an elf roast or something. You need to check those pictures out. Those are great because it'll make you hungry. So yeah, I'm thinking Ewoks eat elf. I think that's how that worked. Ewok is definitely a low and slow cut of meat. I guess so. I mean, unless you're gonna Dutch oven it. If you're gonna Dutch oven that thing and get the boil going, you could do that. Either way you go, you're gonna marinate that in buttermilk. I mean, it's gonna have to happen. You're gonna have to marinate the Ewok. For sure. But who doesn't marinate now? Everybody marinates. It's not I'm not giving you any revelation there. Everybody marinates their food. So Ewoks are no exception. Salt and pepper, buttermilk, whatever you do. I'm sure somebody's got a YouTube channel on preparing Ewok. I bet there's 100 of them. Is it a brine? Maybe it is a brine. Because we talked about that with the elf. Everything's a brine now, though, too. I mean, you can brine anything. So I don't know why that would hurt Ewok cooking. I mean, like, seriously, I think it would be great. Man, I'm starving right now. I'm telling you. You guys might know some people who do this. This is a little out of my wheelhouse. But Ewok brain is good. Ewok brain, eyes. It's kind of like parts of the pig where you talk, hog jaws and, this and that and the other. And you're like, you know what I'm saying? Brines are so in right now. They're really in. Like, we haven't even talked about eating disgusting creatures like squirrels. Looking back, because I had squirrel meat when I was younger, but I can't imagine, like, honey, I'm going to go squirrel hunting and bring them home, clean them and fry them and eat them like now. Or groundhog, for that matter. And I've had both. Between the two, I would say squirrel is better. I did. And I don't like rabbit that much at all. I'm just not a fan. Dove is okay. Duck is okay if it's cooked well, if it's cooked right. Depends on who's cooking it. I'm very careful about duck, though, because you can mess duck up something fierce. And you can have goose. You can have a goose all day long. For me, the holiday treat is going to be an elf. We've said that already. A chipmunk. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have finger food at a party, but I'm just not going to go through the trouble of it, and I'm not going to buy it at a grocery store, right? Like, so if I'm going to do it, yeah, I mean, the best kind of chipmunks to eat are the singing chipmunks, but absolutely. I think it keeps them trim, and the blood goes around, an armadillo. Never had an armadillo. I'm starting to feel like I've missed out. Junior Foreman is in the house. Good to see Junior. Dad used to eat pickled pig's feet. Nope, not this guy. Pickled pig's feet was a thing. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You still find at country stores, in places here in the South, down a country road. Somebody's got pickled pig's feet sitting out somewhere. Guarantee it. Lots of goose around here. Walter Langston from West Virginia says, and they are mean. Geese are mean. Geese are very mean, and they don't taste that great. I'll take an Ewok any day of the week or elf over any of these holiday foods. Pickled pig's feet, again, I get it. It's a meaty, hot doggy kind of taste to it or whatever. I get it. Geese are the devil, Big Frog said. They are the devil, and they're very territorial, and they'll peck your legs to death, man. They'll get you. In the town, my Mexican uncle is from, they ate every armadillo till they were gone. He said they tasted like pork. There it is. So I would eat armadillo. I would certainly eat armadillo. Rumor has it in Cocoa Beach, Florida, there are armadillos right in Florida. Is that correct? Right? So the rumor is that there weren't any armadillos, that they're not indigenous to the Sunshine State, that this dude trying to attract vacationers to Cocoa Beach shipped them in from out west, and now you have armadillos everywhere. That's the legend, if you will. So just, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know. I've never eaten armadillo. I would. I'm not above it. I used to work at a guardian goose for my chickens. I used to want a guardian goose for my chicken. I used to want a guardian goose for my chicken. What did they? It's like guardian goose. What is like the mob, the militant end of the fowls, right? It's like you got your hawks, you got your eagles, and then you got your geese. And your geese are serious, man. They'll protect. You got to pay them extra though, right? I mean, the chickens have got to, cough up some extortion money for that. Carolyn, are you saying yes to armadillos tasting like pork? I guarantee you she is. She is a Floridian. And she knows all about armadillos and all seafood life in the ocean. Not that armadillos are seafood. Don't confuse me. Even though Red Lobster, sometimes I've wondered what they're serving. And it could be armadillo for all I know. Big Frog Barbecue says, geese are the mafia enforcers. That's what it seems like. Know me now. I was telling Bill, yes, armadillos are in Florida. Never had one though. Yuck. That's what she says. I don't know. They are the enforcers of the, look, if I had chickens, I'm not above it. I'm not above having chickens. But, I would probably have to have a wardrobe for the geese if it was an enforcer. Like a little suit or something. It walks around a little pinstripe suit. Because it's going to sound like Joe Pesci with a cough. Sorry. That did not go where I wanted it to go. My bad. You guys are great. As always, this hour flies by. And this is wonderful. And I'm so glad you guys are spending it with me. I hope we've added to your culinary expertise this evening. And if not, well, you just don't know what good food is, apparently. Be sure to send me pictures, your creations at Bill Marion Life on Facebook. That's at Bill Marion Life. You can send me a message and say, hey, this is my picture of. Be creative. Make it up. I won't know the difference, and we'll both pretend it's true. No, but send me a message. We'll get it on here, and we'll talk about it. It's free advertisement. Hey, everyone, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications. And I appreciate you guys very much. And I will see you tomorrow night when we're one day closer to Christmas. Peace.